Every year, roughly 50% of people make New Year's resolutions, some particularly tied to money. And 90% of those people fail to meet those resolutions. With the current UK population of 67 million people, there's just over 3 million people who ends up making it. I always tell myself, this is the year, I am ready for a change. Mostly, I don't make it. But last year, I did something pretty exciting and I ticked off all of my financial resolutions for 2021. The trick? Keep it simple, don't overwhelm yourself. Take it slow but make it specific. Give yourself a reward and remember why you are doing this. Put it smartly, make them specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time specific. So here is my very own list of financial resolutions that I again plan to achieve this year. If you also make financial resolutions yourself, do let me know in the comment section below. And you never know, it may just inspire someone else. Here's mine. Number 1, maximize ISA allowance. In the UK, we have a fantastic scheme to save and invest our money without paying any taxes on them. And that scheme is called Individual Savings Account. It's a type of account you open where every financial year, which starts on the 6th of April, the government gives you a £20,000 allowance to put into this account without ever having to pay any tax on their profit or income. Unfortunately, only 1 in 4 adults in the UK actually subscribed to this account last year. I opened my first ISA right after learning about them through my first job in the city. So that was in my early 20s. So yes, I had no idea what the ISAs were until I actually started to work in the investment industry myself. But since then, I caught up. And this year, I am finally on track to maximize my ISA allowance by March. It is my very personal goal and it hasn't always been the maximum £20,000. You can make your target by however much you feel comfortable with. Let's do a quick example showing exactly how you can make this goal a smart one. Here is little Miss Subtle. And Miss Subtle wants to have £5,000 invested in stocks and shares ISA. This measures to £417 of investment per month for 12 months. It is achievable because it is 20% of our monthly net pay. It is realistic because Miss Subtle earns a consistent amount of money every month and that additional money is not needed for anything else. £417 is automatically taken in direct debit on 7th of every month, so it is also time specific. So little Miss Subtle is pretty smart. I do have a couple of videos on ISAs and how I automate my own investment using Hargreaves Lansdowne. I'll link them in the section below. Feel free to check them out if you like. Resolution 2. Pay full credit card balance each month. There were times when I got super angry at myself when it came to credit card bills because I had unnecessarily paid extra fees for only making minimum payments when I could have paid them in full. I have always been an anti-credit card person myself because I always thought I will only pay or buy stuff from the money that I can actually afford and that I have. But if used right, credit card can actually be a pretty good thing, especially if you are making big payments or shopping online. For example, some credit cards give you points for using them and also gives you better fraud protection. Anyway, I have now automated the way my credit card balance is taken every month, so I have set up a direct debit so that the full value on my credit card balance is taken automatically rather than just the minimum value, so that I don't have to worry about coming back and paying the rest of the amount by the due time and pay any extra interest costs. And with interest rate on the rise, it definitely makes sense to prevent the bank from making more money from your negligence. Resolution 3. Overpay on my mortgage. It's definitely a controversial one. Some people opt to pay an extra amount towards their monthly mortgage, while others prefer to invest that extra amount into the stock market. One is about growing your asset and the other one is about reducing your liabilities. I became a homeowner in 2018. And that basically means that I am still at the earlier years of my mortgage term. And mathematically, it implies that most of my monthly mortgage contribution that I'm paying the bank is going towards the interest cost rather than reducing the repayment amount that I have actually borrowed. It basically means it's the best time for me to pay those extra money towards my monthly mortgage and reduce the repayment amount so that ultimately, altogether, I end up paying less money towards this mortgage. I will soon share the maths and thinking behind why I am doing this in one of my future videos. So if that does interest you, do consider subscribing to my channel. Anyway, this resolution of course won't be applicable if you are renting or if you are towards the end of your mortgage term. But if you are a relatively new homeowner, this can be a pretty smart objective for this year, given the benign stock market outlook and rising interest rates. Resolution 4. Charity. Perhaps this is not the most popular one, because most of us are either trying to save money or spend less. But I can truly vouch that by giving away money and not expecting anything in return, it can actually have a huge difference in your life. We all care about a cause or two, and to know that our money is making a difference to someone, something, or the planet is indescribable. You can experience pleasure by giving, which will only make you feel good and happy to achieve other great things in life. And the best part is, it is all very personal. There is no right or wrong way to go about it. As part of my faith, I happily give away 2.5% of my overall wealth to the charity of my choice every year, and have been doing so since I started to earn. And I can honestly say that the more I give, it feels like somehow I end up getting more back. It sounds strange, but it's true. So giving to charities have been a net positive for me for the last couple of years. So if you're up for it, have a go doing it yourself this year. Resolution 5. Track monthly expenses and investments. Basically, make a budget and make it stick. And this is the resolution that I struggle the most with, because I am a free-spirited person and not the most frugal when it comes to spending money on experiences and gifts. But to help me get there, I did start my own budgeting spreadsheet last year, where month-end I recorded all my income, expenses, and investments all in one big Excel. And I can finally say that I know exactly how much I made in 2021, how much I spent, and how much I invested, and in exactly what. What didn't happen though, and this is when my resolutions may seem a little shady, is that I did overspend during a couple of months last year. Getting a new car last summer did push the monthly expenses up a notch. But because of the way I save and invest, those months did not really impact my overall savings goal. And that's because I do these two things differently. 1. I put away my savings first and then spend. So I don't want to save whatever is left after spending. 2. I have set all my monthly expenses on the first 5 days of the month, so that all the important direct debit, such as mortgages, are taken care of right when my salary hits my bank account. In this way, by the middle of the month, my actual bank balance looks rather dreadful, which means I don't have the heart to spend on big items even if I wanted to. Basically, I trick myself. And I want to be clear, just because I overspent on a couple of those months does not mean I did not meet my New Year's resolution. Because my resolution was not to be under budget month after month, but simply to track where my money is going. Which I did. You see, baby steps. I know myself and I didn't want to overwhelm. So the key to really making a budget stick is this. Track progress, but don't make it too hard that it puts you off. You can use a simple spreadsheet or can rely on your bank's app or other specific budgeting apps of your choice. Find a method that works for you and make it sticky. That's all for today, guys. Until next time, do look after yourself and your money.